G'day friends, it's Vickywright, Independent Stampin' Up Demonstrator Australia. So today is our last class for April, where we're playing with the fun Sunny Splash stamp set. I'm just trying to get rid of that glare, along with the Butterfly Kisses DSP. Okay, so today we're going to do a bit of a fun fold and to finish it off. I always like to step up the cards. Their first card is always a pretty easy card, and then I just like to step them up a little bit. The class is aimed at the beginner stamper, but in saying that, anyone can recreate them. And you don't have to have the stamp set that I'm using to recreate. Use what you have in your stash. So this is our card we're going to be playing with or creating this morning. I think they call it a book fold. I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on that. So we'll just put that to the side and we'll bring in our kit. So our base card is Starry Sky. I like to, when I'm doing a class, I like to have different colour base cards, but at the same time having them match our series, I suppose. So what we're going to do is just fold this in half. Now this is a tent style card. So, and I've got my bone folder today. And we're just going to burnish down there. I'm going to bring in the paper trimmer. And we're going to score. Move all that out of the way. We're going to score about, what am I trying to do? I don't really know what I'm trying to do here. Oh, yes I do. About an inch from our baseline, our base. The centre fold is what I'm trying to say. Okay, and we're just going to fold that back. And then I'm going to fold it in so that I get a nice fold. So then what we're going to do, going to bring in some adhesive. I always like the liquid glue. You don't have to put a lot, but don't put a don't be what's the word I'm trying to say? Don't skimp on it either. It's just as bad as putting a lot. So we're just going to run our bone folder down that part so that it sticks nicely. Okay, and then we can open up our card just like that. Okay, and that is our base card created, just like that. I'm not too sure what's happening here. I hope you can see that. I played around with everything the other day and I just can't get it right back the way I want it for some reason. Okay, so I'll have to play some more. Okay, so then we're going to bring in all our bits and pieces. So we'll put all that aside for the moment. Like that. We'll have these. Put all that aside. Oops. And we will. Now this is the piece from, as I said, the Butterfly Kisses. Okay, and you could use the butterflies if you wanted to, but I'm going to use this side. And then I've just grabbed another piece from the same pack of DSP, and we're just going to stick this piece to a piece of basic white. Just like that. So it's nice and even, top and bottom and along the sides. And seeing that, looks like I've cut that really skew-whiff. Just bear with me. I just want to make sure. Yeah, that's a bit better. Then we're going to put some more glue on the back of this. Just bear with me, eh? See how I go there. I think that's a little bit better, is it? And we're just going to put this piece down the side, just like that. So we're putting that piece right down the spine. Okay, so it's nice and even along the sides and top and bottom. Then we'll bring in our piece of basic white and DSP. And we're going to stick our DSP to our basic white. That's still not right. Let's try a little bit more, eh? See how we go. Just like that. Okay. And then this piece is going to be stuck to the front of our card on the bigger side, bigger panel. Again, making sure that it's all nicely lined up, and you want these sections here in line, top and bottom, and an even space around the outside, and that's it. Okay, then what we're going to do, oh, I didn't cut that right. We'll do our inside while we're here. So let's see how good my memory is. I'm just going to try this. I've cut it a little bit short, but you know what? It's not going to matter. It's the inside, and it won't make any difference. So we'll just grab a scrap of leftover DSP, and I'm just going to put it onto one side of the basic white, trim it off, put more adhesive on the back, and then we'll put that inside. And I've just, because I've cut it too short, long ways, I'm just positioned it so it's nice and even both sides and along the top and bottom. And that's the inside done. And of course, while we're here, we may as well do our envelope. And I'm just using the same piece. Now you could have stamped an image if you wanted to the inside and to your envelope if you wanted to, but we're just going to do a scrap piece of paper. Good way of using your scraps up. And that is our envelope done. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to grab our piece of basic white, and we want to do our sentiment first. Okay, so we're going to be using Calypso Coral, Fresh Freesia, and Starry Sky. So our sentiment is in Starry Sky. So, and I'm going to use the same sentiment, Make a Splash. And I always stamp off onto scrap paper first, just so I know it's nice and straight. Now I'm going to bring this down so it may be out of eyesight for a sec while I stamp the sentiment. And fingers crossed, it's not real straight, but it'll do. You always get it straight when you, that's going to irk me, so let's do it again, hey? You always get it straight when you have a practice. See? So let's try again. Fingers crossed. Oh, mucked it up. Mucked it up, mucked it up. So just bear with me. If I don't fix it, I know it's going to get to me the whole time. So I'm just going to grab a piece of cardstock. And we're just going to redo our piece of white. See, I told you, you always get it right when you're having a practice. Never when it's the real thing. Okay. Okie doke. Let's have another play. I'm just going to clean this. Just bear with me. I'm just going to clean this so that it's we start off fresh. Okay, let's have another go. Okie doke. See, perfect. So fingers and toes crossed this time, and see how we go. Got the fingers crossed? That's better, look at that. So we're happy with that. Then we're going to bring in our Calypso Coral, and we're going to bring in our bikini, and we're going to ink this up in Calypso Coral, which needs re-inking. Yep. So I'm just pressing a little bit harder on our ink pad because it does need re-inking. And it doesn't look like it's given me a clear image. That looks better. So I'll re-ink that after this session. And we're just going to stamp that on a slight angle to the left. Like that. And I've ruined that there, but that's all right. Can't be helped. You know what? I'm going to do that again. So, see, we all make mistakes. And I don't, you'll see all my mistakes because I don't edit the videos. So what you see is real. So we're just going to cut another piece of cardstock and we're going to start again. So we'll just pretend that didn't happen. Well, we know it did, but let's just have a little pretend. Okay. Okie dokie. Oh, we've got to start off with the dreaded sentiment first. Okay. Just tap, tap, tap. And it is a class, so we're all allowed to make mistakes. It happens. And let's keep the fingers crossed and our toes. Yeah, look at that. Okay, now this is where I want you to keep your fingers crossed again and your toes because we need to stamp up our bikini again. And that looks pretty good. Now I'm just going to press a little bit hard and let it sit there for the ink to soak in a little bit longer because my stamp pad needs re-inking. Look at that, that's better. So it's like the other piece didn't even exist. Then we're going to bring in, so no, what we'll do first is we'll stick this. Let's deal with this piece first, before I muck it up again. We'll bring in a piece of fresh Freesia. Now I'm so pleased this is carrying over this colour, and I think a lot of people are too. Don't forget, make a splash. Sunny Splash is on the retiring list, so if you want to grab it now before it's gone. And so is the Butterfly Kisses DSP. So all we're going to do now is put this panel onto dimensionals, or dimensionals onto the panel. We're going to bring in our base card, making sure it's nice and straight, and we're just going to put that down in the middle so that it's nice and straight and in the middle. And once you're happy with the placement, press down gentle. Okay, so that's done. Then we're going to bring in our cogs again, and this time we're going to use fresh Freesia. Where's our togs? Yep, and I'm using the stripy one, which is unusual for me because I usually go for the polka dot. And we're just going to stamp that like that. And what we're going to do, grab our scissors, and we're just going to quickly fussy cut around our togs. I always move the paper or the cardstock as I cut. It just makes it a little bit easier, and you get a lot, your lines, your cutting lines are a lot smoother. Okay, so, and that is it. Then what we're going to do, bring in our base card again, and we're going to grab a couple of dimensionals. And we're going to pop this up again. And we're just going to cover just a little bit of our bikini, just like that. Okay, and then to finish it off, we're going to bring in our Fun Flower resin shapes, and I've used crushed curry on that, but I'm actually thinking we use Calypso coral this time, eh? They say a change is as good as a holiday, so let's have a go. So we're going to do 3 down the side. I won't stick these down yet, just in case I'm not happy with them. They're just placed there, okay? Then we'll do one more over there. One more here. And we'll grab a little one and put it up there. I think that looks okay. And then, because we're happy with our placement, I then will press down to make them stick. Okay, so that is our last and final card for April. So that's the inside, just like that. And that's the front with the Calypso coral flowers. And this is the original with the crushed curry flowers. And that's the inside. Okay, so and as I said, if you're interested in the tutorial, the link is below. Once April is over, the tutorial will then be moved to my PDF tutorial store for purchasing. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. It's really, really appreciated. And I'll see you in May. And we'll have a new product to play with. Okay, thanks a lot. See ya. Hooray.